Well, it was a close shave for 136 Indigo flight passengers flying between Jaipur and Kolkata yesterday. The flight made an emergency landing in Kolkata after the cockpit and cabin of the flight got filled with smoke due to engine failure. Now, what we have picked up is, according to crew members, a Mayday call or an emergency call was made when the Indigo flight was 45 miles away from Kolkata. Hina Gambhir is joining me on the phone line now. Hina, in these visuals, it's quite a scary situation for the passengers. 136 lives put at risk. The entire cabin is filled with smoke. What exactly was the reason?
Well, first, let me tell you what exactly happened and then why it is extremely scary. The visuals, Preeti, are telling you the entire story. So this happened on 10th of December in a flight of Indigo, which was operating on Jaipur-Kolkata route, and it had to make an emergency landing because there was smoke that was seen in the cockpit and in the cabin. Now, that really led to an emergency sort of a situation, and that's why the pilot asked for an emergency landing at Kolkata airport. Now, in the statement that Indigo has come out with, they have tried to downplay the entire incident. They have tried to say that, you know, on reaching the bay, a few passengers were evacuated via the aft exit deployed slides, which we are seeing in the visuals. The flight landed safely, and there was, no passenger really got affected. But if you look at the problem here, which is a little deep-rooted, because here we are talking about an A320neo aircraft. Now, they haven't in their statement given any reason as to what led to this problem. Of course, that's a matter of investigation. But for DGCA specifically, it should be a cause of concern that why only in A320neo aircraft we are seeing these kind of problems suddenly emerging. The way passengers are being brought down, I mean, it is scary.
It indeed is. So, Hina, what are you picking up from the DGCA? Have they taken any note of this sort of, problems that are occurring in this particular aircraft?
Well, yes, DGCA repeatedly has been looking into this matter, but so far we haven't really seen any concrete solution coming in on the problems that A320neo aircraft are facing, which are currently with Indigo Airlines and Go Air in India. Okay. Now, what is important is that yesterday, because it was a very serious incident, the DGCA issued a statement as well immediately. They have ordered an inquiry which Indigo will have to conduct, and Indigo will have to submit a preliminary inquiry soon to DGCA. Apart from that, the AAIB, which is the Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau of the Ministry of Civil Aviation, which only looks at accidents and serious incidents, has also been asked to conduct a thorough inquiry in this entire matter. So it has become a big issue. It is a serious incident. Luckily, all the passengers were safely evacuated.
But is the airline operator, the Indigo airline, are they seriously looking into it? Are they trying to just downplay the matter and move on? Thanks very much, Hina, for joining us on that story. Let me bring in Captain S.S. Panesar, former director with Flight Safety Indian Airlines, joining us now on Morning News. Sir, to your mind, is this not a very serious incident where we see the entire cabin and cockpit filled with smoke because of engine failure? And as per the statement issued by the airline Indigo, they are just trying to downplay the incident. Is the safety of the passenger not the prime prerogative of the airline operator?
Well, in safety there is no margin. It has to be 100% safe. But these emergency cabin smoke, cockpit smoke come, it's a very rare incident. It comes because of some air conditioning smoke or electrical smoke, and there are proper checklists given to the pilots. They are trained for all these emergencies, and I appreciate the pilots have taken a correct action as per the checklist, and there are no casualty on this. But this engine on Indigo new aircraft is creating a lot of problems with the Go Air and Indigo. And I think Pratt and Whitney, they have been asked to investigate the cause of these engine failures. It may be because of that. But now this smoke in the cabin, it can be serious. How thick is the smoke? And the pilots are fully trained, and they have given a checklist what actions to be taken. And evacuation is also the decision of the cabin pilot and the cabin crew. Because in evacuation,
sir, also,
some
if I
people
can,
get
if I
hurt
can take
also,
your
but in this case,
expert
I
views
believe
on the
nobody is
fact
hurt.
that our reporter was highlighting that such incidents are repeatedly happening with A320 Neos, which are the aircraft in possession of the Indigo primarily and Go Air. So, is there something that we really need to look at in terms of the kind of aircraft that this airline is using?
Yes, there are problems only with the new 320 engines and all that. There have been a lot of engine failure, in-flight shutdowns and all that. That of course the DGCA and airline should be serious to investigate, and the Pratt and Whitney company who are supplying the engines, they are also responsible to look into the incident, why these incidents are happening only on new 320 Pratt and Whitney engines. Because this aircraft is being operated by Air India also, but they have Rolls-Royce engine.
But isn't it something that the DGCA should
This
look
is
into
happening only in,
seriously
Indigo
to
and
perhaps
Go Air. There are
ask
many-
the airline not to consider this aircraft from here on? And what could this actually mean in terms of their operations?
Well, there is a person, he has filed PIL in the High Court that this engine should be grounded. But because of some problem, the milli-bhagat between DGCA, airline and the ministry, why they are not grounding the aircraft? That is a shocking news. They should ground the aircraft, let the manufacturer come and find out the fault and modify the fault. And then you let the engine fly. Are we waiting for some serious accident to take place?
Yes,
In
that is
safety,
the big
there is
question.
no margin.
Are we going to
They
take
have
an
to be
action
very
only
serious
if a
and all
serious situation arises?
There is
So,
no
sir,
margin.
ideally,
It
as
has to
per
be 100% correct.
yeah, so ideally, for the moment, the aircraft should be grounded, and the issues with the engine should be looked into, and then only the operation should be allowed, right?
Yes, the manufacturer should be called and they should be find out to identify the fault also, along with the DGCA and the airline representative. Because we cannot wait for the serious incident to take place and then only ground the aircraft.
Right.
It's a high time people should get serious and all that for the safety of passengers and all that.
Right. Captain Panis, sir, appreciate you joining us here, sir. Thanks very much for being with us on Morning News Up.